The sky was quiet over the city of New York. The sun was just setting, and people were finishing their day. In a small apartment on the 12th floor, a young man named Alex sat before his computer. He loved watching space documentaries and often scanned the internet for strange news about stars and planets. That evening, something strange happened. His screen flickered. Suddenly, a weird signal appeared on his radio scanner. It was not music or noise. It was something new, a message. Alex's eyes grew wide. He had never seen anything like this before. The message repeated over and over. "Look at us. We are coming." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. He tried to find the source of the message. It was coming from a satellite above Earth, but no official station was broadcasting it. Someone else was sending it. Far away, in a secret government building, alarms began to ring. Scientists and officers rushed to their computers. The message was not only on one device, it was everywhere. On phones, radios, televisions. Every screen flickered, then showed the same message. "Look at us. We are coming." The world was confused and scared. No one knew where the message came from or what it meant. But one thing was clear. It was not a joke. Meanwhile, a spaceship hovered. Silently over the Pacific Ocean. It was huge, bigger than any human ship. From the windows, glowing lights showed strange shapes inside. The aliens inside laughed softly. They had been watching Earth for many years. They saw how small and weak humans were. They thought the fight would be easy. Back on Earth, governments tried to hide the message at first, but soon news spread fast. People gathered in the streets, staring at their phones and TVs. Some laughed, thinking it was a prank. Cities grew quiet as people waited for what would happen next. In a small lab in London, Dr. Sarah Malik studied the message carefully. She was a scientist who believed humans were not alone in the universe. She noticed something different about this broadcast. It was not just words. It carried a code, a pattern inside the message. Sarah called her assistant, Mark. Together they worked late into the night trying to decode the secret. The patterns repeated every few minutes. They found images hidden between the words, pictures of strange symbols, and maps of stars unknown to humans, Sarah said. This is not just a warning. They want us to see something. They want to scare us. Mark shivered. Why would they want that? Sarah answered quietly, because they think we are weak, because they want to laugh at us. Meanwhile, Alex decided to share the signal on his blog. He uploaded videos of the message and asked people what they thought. The posts went viral. Millions watched the broadcast. They argued online. Some said it was a test. Others said aliens wanted to prepare Earth for invasion. Suddenly, the broadcast changed. The words disappeared, and a video played. It showed a fleet of massive ships moving through space toward Earth. The ships were dark, shaped like long knives. Their lights blinked coldly. People gasped. The laughter of the aliens was heard through the video's strange audio, a cold, mocking laugh. They laughed at humanity's fear, but no one expected what happened next. A sudden explosion lit up the night sky. One of the alien ships above the Pacific fired a strange beam toward the Earth. The beam hit the ocean and made a giant circle of fire and water. The world watched in horror as the waves rose and the sea boiled. Tsunamis moved toward the coastlines. People ran to safety. Governments declared emergencies. Military forces were put on high alert, but the aliens kept laughing. They thought humans would give up quickly. In a command room, General Harris watched the broadcast. His face was grim. He turned to his officers. They think we are weak. They laugh at us. But they will see what humans can do. He gave orders to prepare weapons and call for every soldier. Meanwhile, Alex met Sarah online. They exchanged data and theories. They planned to uncover the truth behind the broadcast. Together, they wanted to show the world that humans could fight back. As the sun rose on the next day, the alien ships were closer. The world was watching, waiting. But soon, humans would show a side no one expected. The battle had begun. Dark clouds hung low over Earth. The sky felt heavy, like it knew something terrible was coming. People everywhere stared at the sky, holding their breath. The alien ships had arrived. Giant black knife-shaped crafts hovered over cities around the world. New York, Beijing, Cairo, Moscow. They were all under shadow. The aliens didn't send any more messages. No more laughing. No words. Just silence. Inside a secure bunker under Washington, D.C., General Harris stood before a large screen. His officers waited for his order. Everyone was tense. The alien ships had done nothing since the ocean strike, but no one trusted their silence. Are they waiting? Captain Lee. They're watching, said Harris. They want us to break first. Then, suddenly, every screen in the room turned black. A voice began to speak. It was not human. It was smooth, deep, and cold. You have one chance, the voice said. Surrender your world, or be removed. Then came laughter, not loud but chilling. It felt like knives in the air. The message ended. The screens returned to normal. The room was quiet. General Harris took a breath. Prepare for first strike. All over the world, fighter jets were launched. Missiles were aimed at the ships. Underground bunkers were activated. The world was ready to defend itself, but the aliens didn't wait. One of the ships over Paris moved. A beam of white light shot downward. It didn't explode, it melted. Buildings began to collapse like wax. People screamed and ran, but the light followed them. It didn't burn, it dissolved. In seconds, a third of Paris was gone. In Tokyo, a similar beam dropped, but this time, it stopped just above the city. Then, thousands of small metal spheres poured out of the ship. They hovered in the air then, rushed down like hornets. Anyone they touched collapsed. It was not fire, it was fear. The spheres sent something into people's minds. Panic, pain, madness. The aliens weren't trying to win a war. They were trying to break human spirit. In a lab in London, Dr. Sarah Malik watched news feeds with wide eyes. They're using psychological weapons, she said. They're not just attacking our bodies, they're attacking our minds. Alex, still in New York, tried to connect to her again. Can we fight this? Sarah nodded slowly. Yes. But not the way they expect. At a secret facility in Alaska, engineers were working on a forgotten project. A machine built to stop nuclear weapons. But it had never been tested in war. It was called the Titan Pulse. It sent out shock waves that could disable electronics. Even in space, General Harris called the team. Is it ready? Mostly, said the head scientist, Dr. Wen. But we've never fired it at something this big. Fire it anyway, Harris said. Give the world a signal. Show them. We're not helpless. At exactly 2:34 a.m. GMT, the Titan Pulse was activated. A massive wave of energy spread through the sky. It hit the alien ship above Vancouver. For a moment, the ship flickered. Then it dropped. People watched as the alien ship fell from the sky like a dead bird. It hit the mountains beyond the city, shaking the ground. A cloud of black smoke rose. The world cheered. It was the first alien ship to fall. The first real victory. The laughter stopped. In the alien command ship above Earth, the leaders watched in silence. One of them, taller than the others, narrowed his eyes. They are not as soft as we thought. Another replied, it does not matter. They still lose. What? Deep in the alien systems, something unexpected was happening. Human technology, weak and simple, had begun to interfere with the alien code. It wasn't supposed to be possible. In a hidden digital lab in Seoul, a young hacker named Rika had tapped into the signal. She was trying to decode the broadcast. With the help of open-source AI, she didn't know it yet. But she was breaking through alien firewalls. What if we talk back to them? She whispered. Her program began to write strange symbols on the screen. The same symbols Sarah had found in Part 1. But now, they were changing, adapting, learning. Back in New York, Alex had an idea. If we can't beat them with strength, what if we beat them with confusion? He and Sarah talked for hours. They made a plan. It wasn't about blowing up ships. It was about showing the aliens that humans were unpredictable. Wild, dangerous. We fight different, said Sarah. We fight like we're already dead. That scares them. The next day, the military launched Operation Thundermere. It wasn't just one attack. It was chaos minus 23 fake invasions at once from all sides of Earth. Decoys, fake signals, wild movements. Humans did everything the aliens didn't expect, and it worked. The alien ships began to break formation. Some backed away. Others tried to scan the noise. Their systems were confused. For the first time, alien minds didn't understand the enemy. In one area above the Amazon rainforest, a group of alien drones flew into each other and exploded midair. Their software had crashed. They couldn't process the madness. Back in the command ship, the tall alien growled, "They are not following logic." Another replied, "They fight like animals." The leader stared at Earth. "No, they fight like something else. They fight like they've done this before." He was right. Humans had faced wars, disasters, and chaos for centuries. They were used to pain. They didn't give up easily. Now they had something new. Hope. That night, all over the world, people lit fires on rooftops. Not to call for help, but to show the aliens that they were still here, still alive, still ready. Alex watched the fire glow outside his window, typed on his blog, "They laughed at us. But now they see we don't break. We fight back." Even when there's no chance, in the alien command ship, the leader watched Earth's lights flicker in the dark. For the first time, he didn't laugh. Instead, he whispered, "Begin phase 2. Something worse was coming. Something deeper than ships or weapons." The battle had only just begun. All across the world, people waited. The alien ships still floated above major cities, but now they were silent. They didn't attack again. They didn't send messages. They just hovered in the sky like huge shadows. Some people thought the aliens were leaving. Others thought they were planning something worse. No one knew the truth. Inside the alien command ship, the tall alien leader walked into a dark room. The walls were alive, covered in light and movement. Thousands of screens showed Earth, cities, forests, oceans, people. He raised his hand and pressed a glowing panel. "They resist," said a voice behind him. The leader didn't turn. "They are strange. They don't fear death like we expected. It's time to understand why." In that moment, the test began. Back on Earth, people started to act strange. In small towns and big cities, people who had seen the alien ships began to feel dizzy. Some fainted. Others screamed and cried, even when nothing was happening. Something invisible was moving through the air. Not poison, not radiation. Something in their minds. Alex was in his apartment when he heard the first scream. He looked out the window and saw a man sitting on the ground, shaking. The man kept saying the same words. "They showed me. They showed me." ... Alex ran down and tried to help. "What did they show you?" The man looked up with wide eyes. "My worst memory, across the ocean, in London." Dr. Sarah Malik stared at her assistant Mark. He had gone quiet during work. Then he suddenly stood up and threw his laptop. "Make it stop," he shouted. "I don't want to see that again." Sarah grabbed his arm. "What's happening?" He looked at her with tears in his eyes. "They're not attacking us with weapons anymore. They're attacking our minds." Sarah's heart raced. She opened a signal log and scanned the recent patterns. There it was, a new wave. A strange frequency buried inside radio noise. It wasn't just data. It was emotion, memory, fear. "They're sending fear," she whispered. "Real fear." That night, people all over the world began to dream the same dream. It was not like a normal dream. It was sharp and painful. They saw their worst regrets, their biggest mistakes. Some saw loved ones dying. Others saw their own deaths. And when they woke up, the feelings stayed. And Solrika, the hacker, sat in her dark room. With her headphones on, she had been tracking alien signals for days. Suddenly, her screen went black, and a voice whispered in her ear, "You will break." She jumped. Her chest hurt. It felt like something had reached inside her. "No," she said aloud. "I won't." Began typing faster than ever. She was building something, a program that could trap the fear signal, record it, study it. If she could understand it, maybe she could stop it. At the same time, General Harris stood in the war room, watching. As strong soldiers dropped to their knees, men and women trained for war now cried like children. Some tried to quit. Others sat still and silent. "Sir," said an officer, "morale is breaking. Even the best troops can't sleep." General Harris looked around the room. "Get me a list of people who aren't affected." "Very few, sir," the officer said. "Maybe 1 in every 500. Harris nodded. "Then those are our new fighters? These rare people, the ones who didn't feel the alien fear, were different. Some had no memories of pain. Others had already lost everything in life. A few simply didn't fear death. They were the ones who would stand when others fell." Sarah discovered something else. The fear signal worked through memory. If a person could block their thoughts, they could survive it. Meditation, focus, mental training. She built a tool, a headset that made white noise and blocked the alien frequency. Alex volunteered to test it. When the fear wave came again, he felt it, saw flashes of his childhood trauma the night his father died in a car crash. But then, the sound in the headset blocked the images. His heart stopped racing. "It works," he said. "It really works." Sarah looked up. "Then we give them to as many people as we can." Back on the alien ship, the tall leader stared at the data. "They resist the fear," said one of the commanders. The leader hissed. "Impossible. No species resists." "The mirror, they're not a normal species." The leader turned away. "And we give them something stronger." Back on Earth, a new signal started. This one wasn't fear, it was rage. People began to turn on each other. Friends fought. Families argued. Small fights turned into riots. The aliens were now pushing anger into human hearts. In New York, Alex saw a man punch another man in the street for no reason. Police were confused. No one understood why people were suddenly so violent. Sarah called it Phase 2. They're using emotion to break our society. If we fight each other, they won't need to destroy us. She and Alex started broadcasting their own signal, a calming sound mixed with brainwave protection. It was weak, but people started reporting that it helped. The aliens noticed. They fight us with music. One commander said, disgusted. The tall leader paused. "No, they fight with something we don't understand. They fight with love, with pain, with sacrifice. They use their brokenness as a weapon." Back on Earth, General Harris gathered his remaining team. "We don't win this war with missiles," he said. "We win it with our minds." He sent teams to deliver Sarah's headset tech to every major city. They worked with hackers like Rika to expand the protective signal. People began to resist again, but something had changed. Now, the humans were learning faster. At night, Sarah stood on the rooftop, looking at the stars. Alex joined her. "You know," she said, "they laughed at us. They thought we were weak because we cry, because we remember pain. But maybe that's why we're strong." Alex nodded. "We don't forget, we don't give up. We carry everything. Even our fear, and still move forward." In the sky, the alien ships floated silently, but inside, fear was growing, not from humans, but from them. The battle was no longer just about Earth. It was about who truly understood strength. The aliens had tested humanity's fear. But now, they would learn something else. Humanity does not break. The world was changing fast. The alien ships still hung over the Earth, but humans were no longer afraid. They had learned to fight back not with weapons, but with their minds. The fear waves and anger pulses were fading, replaced by something new. Hope. Deep inside, a hidden bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Sarah, Malik, and Alex worked with a small team of scientists and hackers. They were searching for anything that could help humans win this battle. One day, Sarah found something unusual buried deep inside the alien signal. It was a strange pattern, not like the fear or anger waves. It looked like a code. It's a secret. Message. She called Alex over. Ah, look at this, she said, pointing to her screen. It's like a key. Something the aliens didn't want us to find. Alex studied the symbols carefully. Could this be their weapon? The thing that controls all their ships? Sarah nodded slowly. If we can decode this, maybe we can turn their own power against them. They worked for hours, breaking the code piece by piece. It wasn't easy. The aliens had built their signal to confuse and hide secrets. But Sarah's team had something the aliens did not: human creativity and unpredictability. As they decoded the message, they discovered it described a hidden control system, a way to stop the alien ships remotely. It was called the core. Core is their heart, Sarah said. If we can reach it, we can stop their invasion without a single bullet. But the core was not on Earth. It was far away, inside the largest alien ship, the mothership that was still hidden beyond the clouds. General Harris was informed. This could change everything, he said. Send a team to capture it. Problem was, humans had no way to reach the mothership. Their rockets and jets couldn't fly that far. It was deep in space. Then Rika, the young hacker from Seoul, made a surprising discovery. She had been studying the alien ship's technology and found a way to hack their navigation system. If I can control their ships, she said, I can fly us to the mothership. It was risky. No one knew what the ships would do if a human took control, but there was no other option. A plan was made. Sarah, Alex, Rika, and a small group of pilots and soldiers would board one of the smaller alien ships. They would use Rika's code to take over and fly to the mothership. The day came, the team approached the ship, which hovered silently over the Nevada desert. It looked dark and cold, like a shadow. Alex's hand shook as he stepped inside. Ship's interior was unlike anything he had seen. Smooth walls, glowing panels, strange symbols floating in the air. Rika connected her laptop to the control panel. Her fingers flew over the keys. The ship flickered, lights blinking as if waking from a deep sleep. Suddenly, the ship's systems began to respond. Slowly, the ship moved. The team held their breath as the ship lifted off the ground. It rose higher, cutting through clouds. Outside, the desert grew small. Rika smiled. We're in control. For hours they flew through space, following the path to the mothership. The stars sparkled around them like diamonds, but the aliens were not asleep. On the mothership, alarms rang. The alien leader frowned. They dare to take our ship, he ordered his guards to prepare. Back on the small ship, the team sensed danger. Outside the windows, dark shapes moved, alien fighters rushing to attack. A fierce battle began in space. Human pilots, inexperienced with alien tech, struggled. The alien fighters fired strange energy beams that warped the ship's systems, but Sarah and Rika worked fast. They used their hacking tools to shield the ship and confuse the enemy's targeting. Alex sat in the co-pilot seat, heart pounding. He looked out at the stars turning red with explosions. The fight was brutal, but the team refused to give up. After hours, the alien fighters retreated. The path to the mothership was clear. The team approached the giant ship. It was enormous, bigger than any city. Its surface was black and smooth, with glowing veins of light pulsing like a heartbeat. Rika's hands flew across the controls. I'm trying to find the core. The ship's interior halls were dark and cold. The team moved carefully, weapons ready. They found the core room, a huge chamber filled with swirling light and energy. At its center was a glowing orb, pulsating. With power, Sarah stepped forward. This is it. Rika connected her laptop to the orb's control panel. She began to upload the virus, a program designed to shut down the core. Suddenly, alarms screamed. The alien leader's voice echoed. Through the halls, intruders. Stop them. Robotic guards appeared, blocking the team's way. A fierce fight broke out. Soldiers and scientists fought side by side, using both human weapons and alien technology they had learned to control. Alex dodged a blast and fired his rifle. Sarah used a device to disable robots with electric pulses. Finally, Rika finished. Uploading the virus, the core began to pulse faster, then slower. Then it stopped. The mothership shook violently. Lights went out. The alien ships in Earth's orbit froze in place. Outside, people looked up at the sky as the black ships suddenly lost power and began to fall. The battle was turning. Back on the mothership, the alien leader growled in anger. They have won the first war, but the battle is not over. Sarah and her team looked at each other, tired but victorious. Alex smiled faintly. We fought with our minds, and now we have their weapon. The sky above Earth was no longer full of fear. It was full of hope. The sky was brighter now. The giant alien ships that once darkened the Earth's atmosphere were falling one by one. People cheered in the streets. It seemed the battle was turning in humanity's favor, but the war was far from over. Deep inside the alien mothership, the leader stared at the fading power of the core. His face was hard and cold. They have taken our weapon, he growled, but they have not broken our will. Outside Earth, a fleet of hidden ships appeared, faster and stronger than any seen before. The aliens called this fleet the Shadow Guard. They were designed for one purpose: to crush any resistance. Back on Earth, General Harris watched the news reports. We won the first fight, he told his commanders, but we must prepare for what comes next. Alice and Rika gathered with their team. The virus that had shut down the core was working, but the Shadow Guard was coming to destroy the mothership and reclaim control. We have only days, Sarah said. We must find a way to stop them. Rika studied the alien data streams. The Shadow Guard ships communicate using a unique signal. If we can jam that signal, we can blind them. Alex nodded, and we create a counterattack, not just defense. The team worked day and night, building devices that could disrupt the Shadow Guard's communication. They called the plan Echo Strike. Meanwhile, across the globe, people prepared. Cities built defenses, trained soldiers, and shared the news of hope. Humanity was united like never before. Then the Shadow Guard arrived. They moved quickly through space, closing in on the mothership. Their ships were sleek and deadly, armed with weapons that could destroy entire cities. The first battle took place over the Pacific Ocean. Human forces launched their jets and missiles. Guard was fast. Their weapons struck with deadly precision. The Earth shook. But then, Echo Strike began. Devices built by Sarah's team sent powerful waves of energy into space. The Shadow Guard ship's communication went dark. Confusion spread. Without signals, the alien ships couldn't coordinate. They crashed into each other. Some retreated for the first time. Humans had the upper hand. General Harris smiled. This is our chance. We strike back. The world's military launched a massive attack. Fighter jets, missile batteries, and new weapons fired on the Shadow Guard fleet in space. The battle was fierce. Explosions lit up the dark void. Ships were destroyed and others disabled. Back on the mothership, the alien leader watched the fight. His anger grew. They adapt too fast, he said. They are stronger than we imagined. On Earth, Sarah's team tracked the battle. Rika hacked into the alien data and found a weakness. The Shadow Guard ships depended on one central command: ship to control their fleet. If we destroy that command ship, Rika said, the whole fleet will collapse. Alex looked at the map. We have one chance to end this. A small team of pilots volunteered to board the command ship. They would use captured alien ships to get close. The mission was dangerous, but necessary. The pilots flew through enemy fire, dodging beams and missiles. They reached the command ship's hull and forced their way inside. Inside, they fought their way to the control room. Explosions echoed. With a final blast, they destroyed the control core. The Shadow Guard fleet lost control. Ships drifted helplessly and crashed. Back on Earth, people watched the alien ships fall like rain. General Harris declared, the tide has turned. Humanity is fighting back and winning. But the alien leader was not done. He looked out into space and whispered, they fight with fire in their hearts. This war will test everything. Sarah, Alex, and Rika knew this was only the beginning of a longer battle. But for now, humanity had hope. And hope was a powerful weapon. The alien ships were falling, The Shadow Guard had been defeated. Earth's skies were clearing, and across the world people celebrated. Fires were lit on rooftops, drums were beaten in towns, and children danced in streets that had once been silent with fear. But in a quiet military base beneath the ice of Antarctica, something had awakened. A red light blinked deep below the surface. It had been silent for years, hidden, forgotten. Now, it pulsed like a heartbeat. Far above, in the wreckage of the mothership, Rika scanned recovered alien data. She stared at the screen. "There's something under the earth," she said, slowly. "Something buried for a very long time. I think it was here before the ships even arrived." Sarah looked over her shoulder. "A base." "No," Rika said. "A gate." Alex frowned. "What kind of gate?" Rika took a deep breath. "Something the aliens were afraid to open." General Harris was informed within minutes. His face turned grim. "We've been fighting their weapons," he said, "but we never asked why they came here." Sarah replied quietly, "Maybe they weren't here to invade. Maybe they were here to stop something." A team was sent to Antarctica. Alex, Sarah, and Rika went with them. They flew in silence over frozen oceans and jagged ice cliffs. Below them, the ancient signal pulsed louder. They landed near a mountain of black rock. It didn't look natural. The snow melted around it, even though the air was freezing, as the team moved closer. They found strange carvings in the stone, symbols that matched the alien language. Sarah translated them slowly. "Sleep below. Do not wake. We hold the lock." Alex touched the wall. It was warm. "This place isn't a gate," he said. "It's a prison." They entered a tunnel hidden beneath the rock. It led deep into the earth, further than any natural cave. Flickered as they moved through alien-built halls. Rika activated her scanner. "There's energy everywhere. Something is alive down here." Suddenly the tunnel shook. A deep sound like breathing echoed through the stone. At the bottom they reached a massive door. It glowed faintly, and strange chains made of metal and light held it shut. Sarah studied the locks. "These aren't holding something out. They're holding something in." Back on the surface, alarms rang in the ship. General Harris received a message. An alien survivor had been captured from a crash site near Norway. Unlike the others, this one didn't fight. It just repeated the same message. "Do not open the gate or it will wake." Sarah was contacted immediately. "Something is coming," she said. "And the aliens were trying to stop it, not release it." Alex stood in front of the glowing door. "Then why were they attacking us?" Rika answered. "Maybe they thought we were too weak to face what's..." Inside, the door began to hum louder. One of the locks flickered and died. The ancient prison was failing. Back on the mothership, Rika searched for more information. She found a log, old, damaged, but still readable. The voice of the alien leader played. "We were not the first to find Earth. Long ago, something came here. Something not born of any star we know. It sleeps beneath the ice, sealed by those who came before us. We did not come to conquer. We came to keep it locked away." Alex stared at the screen. "Then all of this, the war, the ships, it was to stop this thing from waking." Sarah's voice was shaking. "But we fought back. We damaged their systems. We shut down their core. We broke the lock." Outside, the sky changed. Clouds twisted. A red light burned from the horizon. The door below Antarctica cracked. From within came a sound unlike anything human ears had heard. Not a scream, not a roar, but something deep and ancient. Something alive. The alien prisoner in Norway screamed once, then fell dead. Sarah fell to her knees. "We've unleashed something they were trying to keep buried." The creature beneath the earth began to rise. It had no clear form. Not machine, not flesh. A swirling mass of darkness and light. It spread like liquid shadow across the ice, freezing time and air around it. Human weapons had no effect. Bullets turned to dust. Missiles vanished mid-flight, and still it grew in space. The remaining alien ships turned back toward Earth, A distress signal was sent across the stars. The enemy of their enemy had returned. Rika found the last words. In the alien database, if the gate breaks, we are no longer your enemy. We are your only hope. Shh. General Harris gave the order. Open communications with the alien survivors. We need them. The frozen battlefield, humans and aliens. Both wounded, both afraid, stood side by side. Alex looked out at the spreading shadow. We were fighting the wrong war, Sarah replied. Now we fight the real one. And far below, the creature opened its eyes. The dark shadow spread fast beneath the ice. The creature from the gate was not just alive, it was growing stronger. Every second, it moved like smoke flowing over the frozen land, swallowing everything in its path. Ice cracked, the air froze, and time itself seemed to slow. Humanity faced its greatest nightmare. But something unexpected happened. The alien survivors, prisoners and soldiers both, reached out to Earth's leaders. They wanted peace. They offered help. General Harris sat at the negotiation table, flanked by Sarah, Alex, and Rika. Across from them sat the alien leader, the same tall being who had once mocked humanity. I was your enemy, he said quietly. But this shadow threatens us all? Sarah nodded. Then we fight together. What do you know about it? The alien leader spoke of an ancient war long before Earth's history. This creature, called the Voidborn, was a force of chaos. It had destroyed planets, stars, and entire civilizations. The aliens had tracked it for centuries, always trying to keep it locked away. We thought Earth was safe, the alien said. But when your people fought us, the prison weakened. Alex frowned. Why didn't you tell us this before? The alien leader sighed. We thought we could handle it alone. We underestimated your strength and your will to fight, Rika interrupted. So now what? How do we stop it? The aliens had technology, powerful weapons that could contain the Voidborn, but only for a short time. The energy required was massive and unstable. Sarah studied their plans carefully. We can't win by force alone. We need a way to weaken it, slow it down. Alex looked out the window, and we don't have much time. Outside, the shadow reached the ocean. Waves froze midair. Fish and whales vanished in seconds. Entire coastlines were locked in icy silence. Then the first cities fell, lights flickered, and died. Power grids failed. People ran for safety, but the creature's shadow was everywhere. The Human-Alien Alliance worked quickly. Engineers and scientists mixed their knowledge, building weapons and barriers. Soldiers trained side by side. Rika and Alex prepared a special device, signal jammer, that could disrupt the Voidborn's connection to the dark energy it fed on. But the device needed a power source. Unlike any on Earth, the alien leader revealed. A plan. There is a place, he said. Deep in the alien homeworld, a dying star. We can use its core energy. It was a dangerous mission. No human had ever been to the alien homeworld, and the star was unstable. Still, Alex volunteered. Sarah and Rika joined him. The others prepared Earth's defenses. The journey through space was tense. The small ship moved fast, weaving between asteroid fields and past strange nebulae. Alex thought about Earth, the people he loved, the fight they all shared. Finally, they reached the alien star. Its core glowed bright, wild with energy. They had to capture it without triggering an explosion that could destroy the nearby systems. Rika worked quickly to build a containment field. Sarah monitored the star's energy levels. Suddenly, alarms blared. The Voidborn's shadow had tracked them into space. Dark tendrils reached for the ship, trying to drag it into the abyss. The team fought panic. Alex piloted the ship through the shadow's grasp, weaving and dodging. Rika and Sarah held the containment steady. With a final burst of speed, they escaped and set course for Earth. Back on Earth, the alien leader and General Harris prepared for the final stand. The device was built, powered by the star's energy. It would send a massive pulse to weaken the Voidborn, but it could only be used once. The Allied forces gathered near the shadow's edge. Soldiers, humans, and aliens together waited in silence. As the pulse was activated, the shadow screamed. It writhed, losing strength. Ice cracked and fell away. But the battle was not over. The Voidborn sent a massive wave of dark energy toward Earth's defenders. The final fight had begun. The sky was dark like never before. The Voidborn's shadow covered half the Earth. Cities were silent, except for the distant sounds of battle. The air was thick with fear, but also with hope. This was humanity's last chance. General Harris stood at the front line, looking over the troops. Humans and aliens stood side by side, tired but determined. Soldiers held strange weapons, alien technology, combined with Earth's finest. They were ready to fight until the end. Sarah, Alex, and Rika prepared the star-powered device. It was heavy and glowing with raw energy. One wrong move could destroy them all. The alien leader spoke quietly. "This battle will decide our fate. We must be strong. Together." As the battle began, the Voidborn sent waves of dark energy crashing. Down, ice shattered, buildings crumbled. But the Allied forces pushed forward, fighting through the darkness. Alex piloted a small ship, dodging tendrils of shadow. Rika worked the controls of the device, trying to keep it stable. Sarah coordinated the fighters, sending orders and support. Suddenly, a wave of dark energy struck the device. Sparks flew. The machine flickered. "We're losing power," Rika shouted. Sarah shouted back, "Keep it steady. We can't fail now." On the ground, soldiers fought creatures born of the Shadow Dark, twisting monsters that seemed to come from nightmares. Bullets passed through them, but alien weapons burned them away. General Harris fought fiercely, rallying his troops. "Hold the line. For Earth. For humanity." The alien leader joined the battle, his strength unlike anything humans had seen. Together, they pushed the shadow back, step by painful step. Rika finally stabilized the device. "Now, Alex." "Fire." The pulse. Alex pressed the button. A brilliant wave of light burst from the device, spreading like a star's explosion. The Voidborn screamed in rage as the light cut through the darkness. The shadow shattered, ice melted, the dark creatures vanished. But the pulse drained the device. It was empty still. The battle was not over. The Voidborn's core, swirling mass of shadow and energy, rose from the depths. It was massive, terrifying. It looked at the Allied forces with cold hatred. Alex, Sarah, and Rika realized the truth. The device was a weapon of chance, not a cure. The final fight was now face to face. General Harris and the alien leader prepared their best fighters for the last assault. The shadow roared and charged. Soldiers met it with everything they had. Explosions lit the sky. The ground trembled. Alex piloted a fighter ship close to the core, dodging blasts. He fired everything at it. Sarah and Rika worked on a new plan. Using the alien technology combined with human willpower to create a powerful energy field that could trap the core. They sent a signal to the ground forces. General Harris shouted, "Protect them at all costs." The field began to form, glowing brighter and brighter. The core struggled, trying to break free. Then, with a final push, the energy field locked the core inside a prison of light. The shadow screamed one last time, then faded. The Earth was quiet. People cheered and cried. The aliens who had once laughed at humanity now looked with respect. The alien leader smiled softly. "You fought well. You are worthy." Sarah, Alex, and Rika stood together, exhausted but victorious. Alex whispered, "We showed them that humans don't give up. We fight no matter what." General Harris nodded. "This is only the beginning of a new chapter for humans and aliens alike." The sky cleared. The sun rose over a world changed forever.